Public hearings for the proposed Northern Gateway Pipeline resumed today in Prince Rupert. The pipeline would transport diluted bitumen from the Alberta oil sands across northern BC to a tanker port that's planned for Kitimat. And while people in favor of the project argue it will bring jobs and money to the north, others say the risk of a pipeline leak or a tanker spill is simply too great. Johal reports.
Put the islands back!
Nearly a year after the Northern Gateway panel first began its traveling roadshow, it returned to the North Coast. In Prince Rupert, it was met with the usual welcoming committee of anti-pipeline protesters. Inside, critics and proponents convened to cross-examine Enbridge on the contentious issue of increased tanker traffic off the West Coast.
Modern oil tankers exercise the greatest precautions to make sure that oil does not get into the marine environment illegally.
Critics have long argued the risk of a spill in the Douglas Channel would be too great to allow tankers would disrupt marine mammals, including the endangered Pacific humpback whale.
One of the things consistently that we have seen is a lack of assessment of the overall ecosystem impacts here, and whether it's provincial jurisdiction or federal jurisdiction, we're not getting a good sense of the total potential impacts of developments like this.
Beyond the environmental question, the issue of tanker safety has been raised after two recent incidents on the North Coast. The cargo vessel Turn Arrow lost engine power in heavy seas and drifted for 3 hours before establishing emergency power. 2 days earlier, the Han Jin changed course to avoid a small fishing boat and hit a sandbar about 6 miles from Prince Rupert.
In addition to the double-hulled tankers, they will be piloted by BC pilots who understand and know the waters. They will also, we will also be spending hundreds of millions of dollars in the area on improved weather stations and improved navigational aids.
1,000 square kilometers of islands that you've removed.
Jennifer Rice doesn't buy it. The local councillor delivered a 45,000 name petition opposing the pipeline to the panel today.
Thank you. The people here don't want this project. We need jobs, but we need jobs that are in line with our values, and our values are very much connected to the ocean.
Enbridge has acknowledged it needs to take steps to build confidence around the project here in British Columbia. Opposition to the pipeline comes from environmental, Aboriginal and political circles, leaving very few high-profile advocates for the Alberta Pipeline Company. It's an issue BC's Premier alluded to during a recent interview with Global News.
It's going to take a political champion in Canada to stand up and decide that they want to try and figure out how to meet BC's 5 conditions. And I'm not that champion.
Enbridge still has a lot of convincing to do. A decision from the Federal Review Panel is still a year away, but Enbridge's greatest challenge, it seems, is still selling the virtues of the project to British Columbians.